The Heathrow departure lounge buzzed with quiet judgment, a silent chorus of opinions swirling around every traveler. Dr. James Thornton, a seasoned NHS consultant, sat beside his son Oliver, watching him stare out at the rain streaking down the glass. The world outside seemed as uncertain as the journey ahead. Their destination wasn't Oxford or Harvard, but Manila, Philippines, a leap into the unknown for both father and son, far from the familiar comforts of home. For James, who had spent decades immersed in British medical tradition, sending Oliver abroad felt like a radical act. It was a decision born from deep frustration with a system that had rejected his son's dreams, despite his passion and potential. The NHS had shaped James's life, instilling in him a sense of duty and pride. But its rigid entry barriers had left Oliver, and many like him, without a path forward, their ambitions stalled by bureaucracy and fierce competition. The Philippines was a gamble, not a fallback. It was a bold choice, a chance to rewrite the script and find opportunity where others saw only risk. James worried constantly about the quality of education, the recognition of a foreign degree, and most of all, about his son's future in a world that often values pedigree over passion. Yet beneath the anxiety, the decision was also a quiet protest, a search for a more human, less mechanical approach to medicine. James hoped Oliver would find not just knowledge, but compassion and purpose. As the boarding call sounded, James squeezed Oliver's shoulder, both anxious and hopeful. In that moment, words were unnecessary. Their shared resolve said it all. This wasn't just about earning a degree. It was about rediscovering the heart of medicine, and perhaps themselves. They were leaving behind certainty for possibility, trading the known for the promise of something greater. The journey ahead would test their faith in each other, and in the healing profession itself. Every mile flown was a step toward a new beginning. Their unconventional prescription for a medical future was about to begin, and neither knew exactly what awaited them. But both believed it was worth the risk. James's choice reflected a deeper crisis in UK medical education. Medical school entry had become a numbers game, shutting out passionate, capable students like Oliver. The NHS, once a beacon, now strained under burnout, bureaucracy, and a loss of human connection. Training focused on protocols and test scores, not empathy or resilience. Young doctors were burning out before their careers began, their idealism fading fast. James feared Oliver would lose his passion in such an environment. The dream shifted, not prestige, but a career rooted in humanity and joy. Looking abroad became a way to protect that dream. James wanted Oliver to become a doctor who saw patients as people, not just cases. Sometimes the best medicine is found far from home. The idea of the Philippines first surfaced at a London conference, where the air buzzed with ambition and possibility. Amidst the crowd of professionals, a single conversation would quietly set a new course in motion. Over coffee with Dr. Eleanor Vance, James listened as she shared her family's story, one that would linger in his mind long after the last sip. Her granddaughter was thriving in Cebu, learning medicine not just from textbooks, but through hands-on community work and the real stories of patients she met every day. The experience was transforming her, shaping her into a compassionate healer. James was skeptical at first, but stories from other UK families echoed Eleanor's. Students in the Philippines gained empathy, resilience, and a renewed sense of purpose. They spoke of growth that went beyond academics, of lessons that couldn't be taught in a lecture hall. The curriculum there emphasized service, collaboration, and truly seeing the whole patient, not just the disease or the symptoms. Students learned to work as a team, to listen, and to care deeply. These accounts painted a vivid picture of a system that valued the heart of medicine, where empathy and understanding were as important as knowledge and skill. The Philippines, once just a distant notion, gradually became a beacon of hope, a place where dreams could be reimagined and new possibilities explored. It wasn't about settling for less. It was about discovering something richer, more meaningful. a journey that could change a life forever. James realized this path could offer Oliver not just a degree, but a true calling, a chance to make a difference in the world and find fulfillment. Sometimes, the best education is the one that teaches you to care, to connect, and to see the humanity in every patient you meet. Manila greeted them with a whirlwind of chaos and color, jeepneys painted in every shade imaginable, skyscrapers reaching for the sky, and a pulse that thrummed through every street corner. The city was alive, buzzing with energy and possibility, so different from the gray familiarity of Manchester. Every honk, every shout, every smile felt like an invitation to dive into something new. The university campus, a green oasis amid the city's bustle, radiated warmth and a sense of community. Here, the air was filled with laughter and the promise of new beginnings, a stark contrast to the intimidating halls Oliver had known before. Students welcomed them with genuine smiles, their curiosity shining through, replacing the competition Oliver had grown used to with a spirit of camaraderie and openness. Dr. Reyes, their faculty advisor, treated Oliver as family, not just another applicant lost in a sea of faces. She listened, encouraged, and made him feel seen in a way he hadn't expected. Faith was woven into campus life, with a chapel at its heart and a mission to heal with compassion. The sense of purpose was tangible, guiding students to care for one another and their community. The personal touch was disarming. Oliver's nerves slowly gave way to intrigue and a growing sense of comfort. He found himself opening up, eager to learn and connect. The culture shock faded, replaced by a sense of belonging that grew stronger with every shared story and every new friendship. James felt his doubts ease as he watched a community that truly valued joy, connection, and a sense of purpose in everyday life. The Philippines wasn't lacking. It was abundant in humanity, overflowing with kindness, generosity, and a willingness to lift each other up. That first night, hope replaced anxiety. The city's lights twinkled with promise, and the unknown felt less daunting. Perhaps this gamble would pay off after all. The risks they'd taken seemed smaller in the face of so much possibility. Sometimes, a new world is exactly what you need, a place to rediscover hope, purpose, and the courage to begin again. Oliver's lectures were rigorous, but what set them apart was their soul. Professors taught not just science, but how to comfort, listen, and break bad news with empathy. Patient stories were central. Students learned to see the person, not just the illness. In clinical rotations, Oliver watched doctors connect deeply with patients, using kindness as much as medicine. Compassion wasn't an afterthought. It was the core of every lesson. Faith and holistic care were openly embraced, offering comfort beyond medicine. Oliver, raised in a secular world, saw the power of hope and spiritual care. He learned that healing meant caring for both body and soul. The art of medicine was alive here. Sometimes the heart is the best teacher. Community missions took Oliver far from the classroom, into remote villages with little but basic tools. Without high-tech resources, he relied on clinical skills and careful listening. Treating wounds and chronic illness, he learned resourcefulness and humility. The gratitude of villagers, expressed in simple gifts and stories, left a deep mark. Medicine here was about honoring lives, not just treating symptoms. These missions taught Oliver the true meaning of service and social responsibility. Success wasn't about prestige, but making a real difference. The greatest lessons came from those with the least. The heart of medicine beats strongest in places of greatest need. Sometimes, healing starts with listening. Oliver returned home transformed, confident, empathetic, and deeply engaged. He spoke of patients, not just diseases, and listened with newfound patience. Family saw the change. He was becoming a true healer, not just a student. The university community felt like family, with collaboration replacing competition. Oliver embraced Filipino culture, seeing resource constraints as opportunities for creativity. He was proud of his path, knowing it was richer than he'd imagined. The outsider had become part of something bigger, James saw his son thriving, not settling. Sometimes the best journeys are the unexpected ones. Medicine, at its best, transforms both mind and heart. Watching Oliver's growth changed James too. He saw the flaws in the UK system as choices, not inevitabilities. The Filipino approach, human, compassionate, patient-centered, offered a powerful alternative. On a visit, James watched Oliver care for patients with empathy and respect. It reminded James of why he became a doctor. The journey renewed his own sense of purpose and joy in medicine. Back in Manchester, James made small changes: more time with patients, more mentorship, more heart. He shared his story, inviting colleagues to reflect and learn. His most important credential was now being Oliver's father. Sometimes, the greatest lessons come from letting go. Medicine's soul can be rediscovered, one patient, one story at a time. The journey to the Philippines was more than a search for a medical degree. Oliver, now a confident future doctor, will return to the UK with resourcefulness, humility, and compassion. He's a global physician, shaped by two worlds. James, once desperate, is now an advocate for this path. The experience restored his faith in medicine's next generation. The best education is the one that cultivates a healer's heart. The Philippines offers a lesson. Excellence is found in humanity, not prestige. Healing is an art, practiced with knowledge, humility, and love. Sometimes, the heart of medicine is found where you least expect it.